Hey guys, so welcome to another lesson. So we're just going to pick back up where we left off on Monday, and that was using the area model to do multiplication, especially multiplication of a two-digit by a two-digit number. So when we say area model, so the word area, we know when we find an area of a rectangle, we multiply the length times width. So that's where the name comes from. And it's a great way to do multiplication because it helps you break apart the number and be able to see it clearly and each digit's place value. So, for example, if I had the problem 32 times 27. Okay, so that's telling me that I have 32 groups of 27. Again, we can use the area model. So we're just going to pick one of them to be our length and one of them to be our width. Okay, I'm going to use my length for the longer one. So I'm going to say my length is going to be 32. And my width is going to be the other two-digit number, 27. Okay, so that doesn't really help us, does it? Because 27 times 32 is kind of difficult to solve. So what we're going to do, remember, we have to break apart each number into its place value, or we're going to expand it according to place value. So 32, if I break it up into tens and ones, becomes a 30 and a 2. Again, I'm going to do the same thing to 27 because it is a two-digit number as well. So 27, if I break it up into tens and ones, becomes a 20 and 7. So now I have two numbers up here. So I'm going to put a line going down the middle. Since I have two numbers for my width, I'm going to have a line going across horizontally. So now I have four rectangles. I can find the area of each of those rectangles. Remember, area is length times width. So each of these rectangles has its own length and its own width. So this is the part where sometimes it can get tricky, remembering which numbers to multiply. So I like to think of the width. They're the width team. They're going up and down. They stay on the same team. They don't go against each other. They're going against the length team, the team going across. So we're going to start with the first person or the first number on the width team, the 20. Okay, he's going to go against the first member on the length team, which is the 30. So 20 times 30, well, I know 2 times 3 is 6. And then I add my 20, which is 600. Okay, so now this digit on the width team, they're going to go against the last digit on the length team. So 20 times 2 is 40. Okay, so this 20, he's done. Okay, we're going to go down to the next digit on the width team, which is the 7. Now, we never multiply 7 times 20 because they're on the same team, so they never do that. So here we go, 7 times 30. Well, I know 7 times 3 is 21. And then I add my 10. So that's the area of that rectangle. So again, we have 7. We're not going to do 30 again. We already did that. So 7 times 2 is 14. So I have all of the area of all four rectangles. To find the area of the entire rectangle, we're just going to add them up. Now, when you're adding the numbers, make sure that you stack them and add them according to place value. So I'm going to add my ones columns. I have 4. Then I go to my tens column. I have 6. And then my hundreds column, I have 8. So the answer to 32 times 27 is 864. Now, on the exit ticket that you got Monday, some of us had a little problem because I said you're going to choose all the expressions you would use to solve this problem. So we're going to talk about that for a minute, just so you know what expressions means. And I'm going to use a different problem. So we're done with this one. Okay, and I'm going to use 22 times 14, and we're going to talk about what I mean by expressions. So again, I'm going to have, since we're using area model, I make my rectangle. and I have a length and width. Well, I'm going to do 22 for my length. I'm going to break it apart according to place value, expand it. It becomes a 20 and a 2. I draw a line down the middle. 14, if I expand it, becomes a 10 and 4. I have 2 digits over there, so I need to put a line down the middle. Now I have 4 rectangles that I'm going to find the area of. Now here's what I mean by expression. That just means which 2 digits are we going to multiply together to find the product of each rectangle. So for example, again, I'm going to start with my width, 10 times 20. So if I would write that as an expression, that would be like so. Okay, I'm going to do 10 times 2. So here's another expression for 10 times 2. I'm done with the 10, so I'm going to go down to the 4. Remember, don't multiply anyone on the same team. So 4 times 20. So here's the expression for that. And then 4 times 2. So this is what I mean by expressions, and you're supposed to choose all the ones that would fit to solve this multiplication problem. Okay, so we're going to do that. We're going to do 10 times 20. Well, 2 times 1 is 2, and then add your 2 zeros, 200. 10 times 2 is 20. Here we go to another width. 4 times 20 is 80, and 4 times 2 is 8. Now to find the area of the entire shape, I just add up all of my partial products. Remember, and stack them according to place value. Add my ones column, I get 8. Add my tens column, I get 10. And my hundreds is 3. So the answer to 22 times 14, we get a product of 308. Okay, good luck.